Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA. Today we're going to be talking about selling to the gap. So if you have a great product perfect for their stores, this training will give you some things to think about in regards to selling to them. With that said, let's get started on today's training. Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA. And today I want to talk about a retailer that comes up all of the time in my workshops and classes. People ask me about the gap. Maybe you have a clothing product, accessory, whatever, and you want to sell to the gap. And so this little training video will just give you some quick tips and strategies to think about when you sell to a retailer like the Gap. So what can I share with you about the Gap? First of all, they have over, I think, 3,700 stores, phenomenal growth there. They own a lot of brands, right? So they own Old Navy, Banana Republic, all these different brands, the Gap and so forth. And one of the things that I teach people is that if a retailer it's a massive retailer and they own multiple brands, this is actually an interesting and a good thing for you because you could probably get into that retailer using some kind of sideways way. So let me explain. When you go after a retail chain, one of the things you'll note is that if they like your product, they'll give you a vendor number. And that vendor number is gold because basically it'll allow you to sell to them. It's your like identification number as a vendor, right? So any retailer you work with is going to give you a vendor number. So you want that vendor number. It's tricky to get one, but it's not impossible. And just so you know, you need a vendor number. Now, why does that matter with the Gap? The Gap also owns Banana Republic, Old Navy, and so forth. And so one of the things when a major retailer owns several brands, what you don't typically know is that retailer, they share the same systems across the board, which means they usually share the same vendor number. So Banana Republic, if you sell to them, you get a vendor number, and then that vendor number would work for the Gap and it'll work for Old Navy and so forth. So one little trick that a lot of reps know about is that once they get a vendor number in from one of the chains, then they will go after the buyer who's different in the different retail subsidiaries and reach out to them and let them know, hey, guess what? I already have a vendor number, so let's just get started and test out my product and so forth. The point here is that all of these major retailers who have multiple brands under their name all share the same systems, they all share the same vendor number, and so you could actually make the buyer's job so much easier simply by becoming a vendor to one of the retailers and then finding the other buyers, reaching out to them and letting them know, again, you have a vendor number, it'll be very easy for them to test. Why would a buyer care about that? They don't have to deal with paperwork, they don't have to do anything new or anything at all. It'd be very quick, very easy for them and to work with you, and the buyers love that, right? They're busy, they don't have time for things, make their lives easier, why not? So that's the cool thing about the Gap. You can use that same vendor number under the different brands, so that's pretty exciting. The other thing I'll tell you is that because they're such a major retailer, they are very concerned with quality and so forth if you're going to be doing under their brand name or anything. So this retailer will for sure be checking out your warehouse, they'll be checking your shipping stuff and everything. They're very meticulous about that. They'll have people come to even your manufacturing plant of wherever you are and so forth. So be aware that they don't just buy from you, they're going to check you out and really make sure that you can handle their volume and see the quality and so forth because it really matters to them. So that's something else to think about. Anyways, I hope that provided value for you. If you want to know actually how to pitch these guys, what to say to these buyers to get them to buy, how to find the buyers and so forth, there is some additional training that you would need. You can get a free training program actually on my website, retailmba.com. So just put in your email address and you'll get access to a really powerful 6-part training series on selling to retail chains. Highly recommend doing that. I also have a full Retail MBA training program where, in a weekend, you'll know exactly what to say to all buyers to get them to buy and so forth at all the major retailers and so forth. So anyways, you can check that out at retailmba.com as well. Either way, I hope this provided value for you, and please be on the lookout for the additional videos that I create. Thanks so much.